I quit my job at the funeral home after an embalming went horribly wrong. "Okay, this one's done," John said, stitching up an incision. Somewhere across the room I heard a phone ring. "Fuck, would you get that? I got shit all over my hands." "Yeah, I got you, John," I said, making my way over to the landline on the wall. There was a paramedic on the other end of the line. He told me there was a car crash with one fatality and asked if we could take care of the body. "Hey, John, do we have time for one more tonight?" I hollered to my co-worker. "Yeah, just meet him out front," John replied. I had just lit my second cigarette as the ambulance pulled up, lights on but sirens off. I took a hefty drag, then stomped it out, and held the door open for the attendant to wheel the stretcher in. I pulled the sheet off of the body and was met with a "holy shit" from John. "Oh fuck, do you know this guy?" No, he was just a big comedian in the 90s, John said. We began our usual process. I was just an intern, so John did most of the heavy lifting on the cadaver. He said we couldn't afford to botch any part of the process when it came to this high-profile client. John was just finishing up and I was taking my scrubs off when I heard an unfamiliar voice in the room. "Hey, you ever have to pay a parking ticket and—" The voice was cut off by John's screaming. I spun around and saw John had fallen onto his ass and the cadaver was sitting upright on the table. "John, I don't know. This guy is dead. We pumped him full of formaldehyde." "And what's the deal with formaldehyde?" the corpse said, slitting one of his wrists open with a nearby scalpel and sprayed a stream of liquid into John's slack-jawed mouth. Thinking fast, I ripped the paper towel dispenser off the wall and threw it at the corpse's head while John was coughing and spitting out the poison onto the floor. I heard a crack and saw the corpse's head bend back at a 90-degree angle. "Ouch! That was my funny bone pal," it said, cranking its head back into place. "John, we have to get the fuck out of here," I said, trying to pick my co-worker up off the ground, who was still recovering from his unwelcome drink. "Fuck, open the storage room, the closet over there," John said as I dragged us towards it. I wrenched it open and started pulling John in, but the corpse was right behind us. "Hey, in show business they always told me to break a leg," the corpse said as he slammed the door on John's leg until I heard a snap. John screamed as I pulled him in and locked the door behind us. "Oh, tough crowd I see. Well, have you heard the one about the priest, the rabbi, and the grizzly bear?" The corpse continued on from outside. "Jesus Christ, I don't know what's going on." "But was his stand-up this bad?" I asked. "Hey, I never said he was good," John replied, wincing as he grabbed his leg. I looked around the storage room, mop and bucket, extra scrubs, and a fire axe and extinguisher behind glass. Bingo. I took the little mallet attached to the case and I smashed the glass to retrieve our tickets out of here. I gave the fire extinguisher to John and armed myself with the axe. "John, I'm gonna open the door. When I do, be ready to blast the fucker with that, okay? I'll do the rest." John nodded and got ready to pull the pin. I could still hear that fucking thing babbling from outside the door, but as soon as I unlocked it, I could only hear silence. I swung the door open, ready to pounce, but the fucking thing wasn't there. I looked to my right and heard a scream from my left, and before I knew it, the corpse had knocked me onto the ground and was on top of me. "Now, John! Now!" I screamed, trying to push the thing off of me as it tried to bite at my face. I was met with an icy white cloud from the fire extinguisher that obscured my vision and frosted my glasses over. The corpse began to tense up and I knocked it off of me and began trying to wipe my glasses clean. Wow, this is colder than my ex. That's not even a joke, just facts, the corpse said. Rigor mortis, spray the fucker again. I bet it's setting in faster with this, I heard John scream as he chucked the extinguisher towards me. I picked it up off the floor and emptied its contents onto the corpse. It began to say something, but its jaw froze in place. I picked up the fire axe and began hacking at its neck. I cut the corpse into 6 pieces, separating the limbs and head from the body. Me and John decided the best way to deal with this mess was cremation. The family was upset as they had requested an open casket. We managed to talk them out of suing us into oblivion in exchange for the nicest urn money could buy, all on the house. I put in my resignation the following day and moved away shortly after. I heard John retired, can't say I blame him. I've done research and talked to others in the industry, but I've never come across anything even close to an explanation of what happened that night. What do you all make of this?